I am going to pull up the latest behind the ships here, and we're gonna see what they have to say about the Idris launch. I don't actually think there's anything gonna be like truly groundbreaking here, but it's the coverage we need.
The Idris.
It's a big bloody spaceship. The Idris for me was almost like the second stepping stone of 100% belief that we could make this project a reality. We took the concept off Ryan Church many, many years ago. I think it was one of the first ones that got developed for the game. Huge undertaking across the board. And when I first saw that taking off in that demo with the crew on board.
Wait. Can we go back to that demo real quick? It's actually really funny. I think it was Gamescom 2016 demo. This is actually really funny because the first time they showed off the Idris, it had this hilarious moment that I'll just let play out live for you guys. This was pretty crazy. And this is why, like, I don't know, like the hype is real for the Idris, but it's been such a, this was 6 years ago? 8 years ago, math. So it's like, to see it now is very, very cool. It's just not like the most surprising thing. Right, so this was the first attempt at boarding an Idris. This was back when like the physics between vehicles, ships, everything was just not good. Every box you loaded into a vehicle, did he already do it? He didn't. Every box you loaded into a vehicle was a risk of blowing the vehicle up. So here was our first time loading a Ursa onto an Idris.
Here we go. Almost. So much sand.
They kind of like don't look too. It's like they're looking away because they realize that it is not going well, and then the whole thing just destructs itself on the ramp. So, you know, Star Citizen physics have never been the most smooth thing, but this was like the introduction of the Idris, and it was pretty cool. This is like, okay, cool, so they can make a capital-sized ship, but honestly, I think most people thought it would be in game by now.
Board. It was a true sort of like, okay, we can do this, we can deliver on the promise that Chris had envisioned, you know, several years before.
See, like, I don't think I really felt that until we saw server meshing actually work. I've always been hopeful about this project, but in my opinion, as far as the actual game working that they wanted to make, until they proved they could get server meshing working in a publicly released build, I was like, we don't know where this is going. And even now, I think it's still sort of, you can see that some things need to take a step back, and there's still always the possibility that things do not work out, that the project itself folds, or that the vision for the game has to change too much in order to stay afloat. And I think that's always a tug of war, but certainly server meshing for me was like the big sort of, oh, yes, we're getting somewhere.
The Idris is a frigate used by the UAE Navy, but it was also available to civilians in a sort of wide range of specifications.
It's one of the more sought after ships that people have wanted to use in the universe for just one of the longest times at this point.
It has enough crew and provisions on board to support long duration patrols.
Incredibly risky not wearing a spacesuit.
Itself and attack aggressors, and hangars on board for a wide range of ships. There are multiple versions of the Idris, the most popular being the Idris P, the P standing for Peacekeeper. This is the civilianized version of the Idris. It trades some of the prior military assets for increased cargo storage. At its core, it is essentially a flying hangar with all the crew facilities around that.
What's very good at, though, is killing things.
Interesting.
It starts with a front upper manned turret, which is size 5. This is swappable, which we'll talk about in a bit. Then there are 7 additional size 5 turrets spread
Wow.
across the top and bottom of the ship.
These are perfect for dealing with mid-sized targets and give you fantastic coverage across the whole ship through all the different angles they could approach you from.
Whilst they are lasers by default, you can swap them to a wide variety of other weapons in the game.
So what, that's six swappable size 5 turrets, or was he saying 5 on top, 5 on bottom? I'm guessing it's 5 across top and bottom.
But that's not all the firepower that the ship has to offer.
Yeah,
it also
fine.
has
Five.
4 remote.
5 against across the top and bottom, and then whatever he's about to say here.
Game.
But that's not all the firepower that the ship has to offer. It also has 4 remote turrets, which are size 4, which are a little bit better at dealing with more agile fighters.
Size 4 remote turrets
At this
is
point
nice.
in the game, you are looking at having a minimum of 12 people on an Idris P to fully
Okay.
crew just the weapons.
So you got the 6 manned turrets and the 4 remote turrets. And then you've got, I guess, the main gun and a pilot. And that's where the 12 he's saying is coming from.
So make sure you've got plenty of friends to tag along.
Obviously, flying a ship this big with this much armament makes yourself a big target, and for that reason, the Idris comes with 11 point defense system hardpoints. These are the exact same point defense system weapons that you've seen on ships like the Polaris and 890 Jump.
To be honest, I think that there's like a lot of potential to set some interesting community-wide events up using this ship. The logistics of it would just be difficult. But I think if you could get a reliable group of however many people you need, I would say 12 to 20 people, because you probably also want some pilots and replacements. At this moment, you could probably get like 20 people together, put, I don't know, as much possible drugs as you can in the Idris, and then just broadcast out into the community and be like, at this point, at this time, we're going to run a drug run with this ship from this planet in Pyro to this planet in Stanton. Anybody who wants to try and take it, come and try. And then just see if you can do that and refine it to the point where it's actually a fun event. It's basically what Hunt the Polaris is, right? Just with a different ship and with computers flying. Main gun is fired by the pilot right now. Of course.
For those of you lucky enough to have an Idris M, it comes with a number of key differences that improve the Idris P. Primarily, it comes with a size 10 railgun default.
You get swamped with half a dozen other Idris. You know what? You're so right about that. But the original party just needs to play it smart and understand that's going to happen. Just load a bunch of Eclipses on your own Idris. Don't even have to take them out of your Idris. Just point your Idris in that direction. Let them lock on from inside the hangar. A couple torpedoes their way. There's going to be so many Idris primed to be boarded in the PU over the next few weeks. It'll be beautiful.
Crypt on the nose.
Now, anyone that's taken part in any of the Idris missions and been unlucky enough to fly past it just as that shot goes off, you all know
Holy
how
crap.
devastating that can be when it hits.
The upper front turret is upgunned to a size 7 turret. The cargo room is replaced by the missile launcher. It has increased armor over the base Idris P. But it does lose the lower rear man turret for all these other changes, so it's not perfect.
I'm going to be interested in seeing how they rate armors when they finally come in, because there's a lot of nuance in the armor system getting built into all these ships.
For those Idris P owners who want a bit more bite to their Idris and missed out on getting an Idris M, we do offer 2 ways to sort of improve your Idris P. The Idris K kit and the Idris T kit.
This is a kit. It's not a whole Idris.
They are simply Idris M's or P's with additional items swapped out in their loadout.
It's parts. I can't... The amount of times
Because it often gets confused, and it has been over the years.
that I've had to remind people there isn't an Idris K.
There is no such thing as an Idris T variant.
It's an aftermarket kit. Anyway,
I don't think anybody's going to have trouble understanding this now that they're starting to sell these things for real money. It's in everyone's faces now. No problem getting that.
The Idris K kit comes with a bunch of new items that can be applied to the Idris. Primarily, there is the size 10 laser beam that goes in place of the railgun.
the beam is one of the first real beam weapons that we've added to the game. Obviously, you've got the mining laser, but this is an actual weaponized version of it.
Hathor would
And
be proud.
If anything gets in its way, it's gonna quickly wish that it hadn't. The next item in the kit is a size 7 manned missile turret, which replaces the front turret of the Idris.
It also comes with 5 additional PDS weapon systems to help fill the additional slots on the P, and a cool black and red paint. The new Idris T kit is a companion to the K kit, and it sort of takes your Idris in a less weapon focus and putting it into more of a torpedo and ordnance focus.
So the first thing is a new
Which isn't the
nose-mounted-
best in the current state of the game. A lot of these things leave you wondering when missile and torpedo improvements. We're seeing missile turrets and all these things and like rocket pods being sold and introduced to the game, and it's like we're still waiting for torpedoes and missiles to make a lot of sense, which I think is kind of hamstrung by the fact that scanning and stuff still doesn't make sense. Just ship systems in general really hurting for that big update now.
weapon. A set of size 12 torpedoes, a total of 20 of them, that fire out of 4 fire pods.
Jeez, size
Now, obviously,
12?
That's a lot of torpedoes. And for anyone that watched one of our more recent Citizen Cons, here's a message back for Elwyn. Fuck the Polaris.
The views and opinions of Mark Gibson do not represent those of Cloud Imperium Games, Roberts Space Industries, or its subsidiaries. They do represent Jared Huckabee's, though.
Yeah. The Polaris. Not really, the Polaris is cool.
Turret is an alternate size 7 bespoke ballistic cannon turret.
Torpedo
Which adds some
Dorito.
serious firepower.
Holy!
The last piece is 5 additional PDS systems. These ones fire missiles rather than energy weapons.
PDC
This
missile.
also comes with another unique skin.
Bro, what? Wait. Automated PDC. These are basically turrets with blades. Like, I guess you just need the interactability of a manned turret and a blade for it to fully make sense. But missiles on PDCs sound awful. These PDCs will just attack you for targeting the ship. Like, there's so many times when our org mates just randomly start getting shot. And we're like, what happened? What'd you do? I targeted the Polaris. I'm sorry.
Gas systems, these ones fire missiles rather than energy weapons.
It's going to be
In
madness.
addition to that, this also comes with another unique skin you've never seen before.
Oh, they love these Star Wars shots with the larger ships.
Layout of the ship, including the exterior from the top down, there is no space conserved. It's
They literally, like, they did this before. I don't think I could even tell you when they did this, but I bet I have the shot. Last time they did this was with the Carrack and the Polaris, I believe. Yeah. They love these. But, like, if you watched Citizen Con this past year, then you know they love their Star Wars
the
references.
ship,
As we
including
all
the
do.
exterior from the top
Oh my God, guys. Andor right now? Holy crap. Oh boy.
There is no space conserved. It's packed. One of the most impressive spaces on the Idris is the main hangar. This is the center of operations. It's where you come and go, where you land your ship. You've got everything that you need, plenty of space. You can see space for offboarding cargo. It's got ramps for bringing in and out of equipment. The bridge is quite special. I like the fact that it's almost a sort of glass house in space, full views all the way around. You have this sense of importance, like you're commanding the vessel.
Full glass, propped up right on top of the spaceship in a world where we've got beams and railguns, dude. This would be terrifying in the middle of a battle. I would think at any moment I was going to get sniped, but I guess that's why you got shields. But still, man, you got a strong enough ballistic, you just punch through the shield. That glass better be strong.
The corridors, they're like the connective tissue of the ship. They're bold, they have a really distinct profile to them. You've got these white, clean floors that you could imagine some janitor kind of polishing up constantly. It really feels
Still dirty though. Like, you're still getting this ship and there's just like grime all over the place. Unless this is just how you deliver your ships. Cool. Good for you, Idris.
believable. The mess hall is quite municipal, quite utilitarian. It's not the most extravagant space. I just like how tangible it is. The bunks have a very strong...
I really like this
nautical,
room.
almost submariner type
I love the habitation on the Idris. Looks great in Squadron 42.
feel to them. Another space I really enjoy is the engine room.
It feels like a nuclear reactor.
Yep. This whole ship, the interior of this ship is way more impressive than the exterior, in my opinion.
The thing with this ship is everything is functional and military. You get the impression that everything was designed for a purpose and space was at a premium.
Thank you for that.
The Idris has been a ship people have been waiting for ages, and it means something different to everyone, and how everyone's going to use it is really down to them.
So what's the deal here? I thought we weren't going to release this until Squadron came out.
As Squadron has developed, and the Idris has been in the PU in various guises for quite some time now, it's been quite clear internally that the two versions are very different things now. And it's not going to be a spoiler for Squadron. Now, even after this ship releases, it's still going to evolve further.
We've still got lots in the pipe that we want to bring.
God, so much eye candy. Can I just watch all of that again? Please.
Squadron has developed, and the Idris has been in the PU in various guises for quite some time now. It's been quite clear internally that the two versions are very different things now. And it's not going to be a spoiler for Squadron. Now, even after this ship releases, it's still going to evolve further.
We've still got
This is
lots
literally
in the pipe.
just like what I always wanted from a digital media, was just the ability to see a whole bunch of different space scenarios play out. And I love just being able to watch it. Like, love space stuff.
that we want to bring to the ship for Squadron, and hopefully it will trickle through to you guys in the PU as and when we're ready to release it.
So now we're really excited to release the Idris to the PU, and it's going to make lots of people super happy that it is finally here in the game.
We couldn't do it without the teams across the board. Artists, VFX artists, lighting artists, physics, code, narrative. There's so many departments and people involved in bringing such a beast to life. Yeah, it's a big undertaking, so congrats.
Yeah, congratulations to the team. This was a huge delivery for them. Thank you very much. I think probably one that we're going to be reaping the rewards of for a long time. Now, first thing I'm going to say about this is everybody do what you will with your money. Do what you love with your money. But please don't feel the need to buy this just for the sake of having it. This is going to be available in-game. You can already, I mean, you could just steal it from somebody too. Like, you don't need to buy this. You can just take someone else's if you really want to, or you can find somebody in an org who has one and like borrow it and try it out. I don't think this is going to be, there will be people who are doing this kind of gameplay a lot, but for the vast majority of players, I actually don't think controlling an Idris is going to be something that's just that enticing. It's just like, you can do more stuff with it, sure. But would you rather go through the work of like putting an Idris together and finding something worthwhile to do with it, or grab a Constellation or a Corsair and a few friends and just be able to like hop back and forth between missions and not have to worry about where you're landing or whether you can find a hangar big enough and like all these things, you know? I think it's a really big hype piece and it's going to be huge for the game and it's representative of a lot. But in terms of the actual usefulness of this ship, it actually doesn't apply to that big of a part of the player base. And that's why it costs so much, because not many people actually are going to buy this. I mean, a lot of people do buy it. Let me rephrase that as, I don't think a lot of people are going to feel the need to keep this. So yeah, the price of this is insane. It is truly, truly wild. This is the kind of thing that you probably buy as a group, and the kind of thing that I think you build up to over time. Like, if somebody's been a fan of Star Citizen and been playing it for 10 years, and then they went and bought this as like their reward or whatever, not reward, but like their, okay, I've been saving up, I've been waiting. That's not that bad, because $1,500 over 10 years is perfectly fine. But for somebody just getting into the game, I wouldn't even consider looking at that ship. Either way, your money is your thing. I think this is not going to have a huge effect on the game other than us just seeing a whole bunch of Idris floating around. For big groups, for pirates, this is going to offer some more interesting gameplay because it's something new to board, steal, and take from. fun to fight in some of these bigger missions they're making. That's what I really want to test out over the next few weeks. But this is more so, I think, a backdrop, like something that needs to exist in the verse to feel real. And I hope we can start to get more NPCs flying these sorts of ships around outside of missions and battles and contracts soon. We need more haulers. We need more military. We need more corporate go-betweens than just players tooting about in their freaking sperm suits. Either way, that is the release video of the Idris.